And Jody's Park. Game is over. Press conference over. Of a great victory. Claudio Villalobos from Nashville Total Sports and Nick Fraser from 1025 The Game are back with you here to make to make a small commentary of what we saw tonight and this great victory. Not unexpected, but perhaps what you will agree with us is that we were not expecting this to be as clear as it was, not only because of the score of the game, 4-1, but because of the rival, New England Revolution team that even though it's learning and starting with the new coach, it's always a team tough to beat anywhere. And Nashville pretty much handled everything tonight. So in terms of goals, it's clear. Two by Sam Surish, one by Hani Mokhtar. They keep on going like they finished last season. And the main thing is that the way Warren Madrigal, the Costa Rican, played tonight, having 2 assists and 1 goal and a great performance as well. So here we are. But mainly, what we're probably going to discuss, Nick and I, is the amount of play that we saw in the field besides the goals. Really, that's what we call it. That we go beyond the goals. We go beyond the score to talk about what really saw in this particular game, especially starting with the lineup by BJ Callahan and what happened in this first game of the season in Nashville. As soon as Nick gets here, we're going to start talking about what we think he saw. But one thing we have to say is that BJ really didn't surprise anybody. We was just waiting for him to decide among some of the figures that. Well, Nick is back here. Nick, I was just saying that not only was just the score, which is clear, but the way that Nashville managed the game.
Yeah.
Completely managed the game. I'm not gonna say like some people might exaggerate and say that they erased the rival, because that wasn't the case. It's just an overall good performance, which is amazing. Is that the first game of the season?
Yeah, absolutely. The way BJ Callahan has structured this just attacking style, everyone attacks, everyone defends. That's the motto. But this team, they collectively understand what needs to happen out there. And you look at Christian Espinoza, who had a wonderful debut for Nashville tonight. Warren Madrigal, the guy had 3 goal contributions. He's the 7th player in MLS history to do so. He's the first one in Nashville SC history to have 2 assists.
That's just not easy to do it.
No, it's not at all. He's the first guy in Nashville SC history to achieve this feature here at Geodis Park at the season over. It's just crazy to think. And the guy is he's only 19 years old. I mean, it just gets better and better for Nashville SC fans. They have something to really, go home about and enjoy. I mean, this is a team that could win some more hardware this year. I think this is a team that is starting to build depth with these young players. We saw it last season with Matthew Corcoran and how that he got a lot of minutes with the U20 national team. And now you see it now with these players in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. Ruben Pacius gets a goal in his debut with Nashville. Sam Surge is in midseason form already with a brace tonight. His 5th brace for Nashville, playing for this club so far in his career, and his 8th multi-goal game. I mean, and it is pretty chilly out here, so if we stutter, we apologize, but that's incredible.
39 degrees, so.
Yeah, and also, too, for Nashville, let's not forget, this is the most goals they've had in a season opener in their history. Of the club.
One of the things that amazes me and kind of brought a smile to my face, to be honest with you and everyone else, is the fact that that's what coaches are coaches, because they know the game, they know what they're doing most, and sometimes things don't go the way they want it, but still they're the ones that know the game. I mean, and BJ was telling us the other day that. How when somebody asking how difficult it was for the new members of the team to get together with the rest of the staff, the rest of the crew, and start doing it. Why is it? It seemed like he was too quick to have that kind of camaraderie around the locker room and everything else. And BJ says something that really struck me, and still does today, that good players like to play with good players.
Yeah.
And that's what happened tonight, because we saw performances tonight that perhaps, we're talking about Warren,
yeah,
of course. You already explained what he did. Surish just went back to his old Surish, scoring goals, what he knows to do best. Even Hani Mokhtar with a great game as well, scoring 1 goal. But then we have the likes of, for instance, just to give an example, Patrick Jaspek. He played a wonderful game tonight. He was back and forth, like BJ described in the press conference. I was like, wow, man, really? When good players come to a team, others get even better.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And we got to speak with Warren Madrigal after the match tonight, and obviously it was all Spanish, so I didn't understand the majority of it. There were a few things I caught here and there, but there was a question I asked him that was about just the comparison, not comparison, but to achieve two assists in his first match with Nashville in the debut. Thierry Henry in 2010, when he was playing for the Red Bulls, he did the same thing. He had 2 assists. And what was his answer? Because I don't understand Spanish to the
Well, I
degree
mean,
that you do.
obviously, he was surprised for two reasons. First of all, he didn't really, he didn't digest it that quick.
Right.
That he's done that, he accomplished that in the first game. And also, when you let him know that the other guy that did it was somebody like Thierry Henry. I mean, you're talking about his soccer history right there.
Yeah.
One of the biggest ones to ever play the game, in my opinion, anyways, especially striker. So he was like, "Wow, man!" It's like he couldn't even believe the not the comparison, but the factual evidence that you gave him. Yeah, it was amazing. It was pretty good. He was just saying that like he was you also asked him about a question about how was it that he was
His
already
confidence.
Yeah.
He
Confidence. Well, he said
he plays like a veteran out there. That's the thing for me that gravitates towards really good play is if you're a young player at 19 years old, and again, I don't want to keep comparing him to players in Europe, but these are what young European talents do. They show up on the occasion and they say, "Hey, I'm here to play soccer. I'm here to play a sport that I love," and that's what he did tonight.
That's why when I hear people even in the media defending a particular player just because they like him, and the player is already 23, 24, 25, we're still waiting for him to show up. I mean, it's still young. No, it's not young anymore.
No.
You're good at the very beginning, and you will be good forever, or for most years.
Yeah.
So Warren shows us today that the guy that is good is going to show early and show on time and do what it needs to be done. And Warren, I mean, one thing that he answered when you said that about playing like a veteran, he said, well, he gave kudos to El Deportivo Saprissa, which is his team in Costa Rica, which actually won the derby, the Costa Rican Classic tonight, 2-1. He already knew. He said that when he got to the locker room, they gave him the great news, and he was happy about it. Well, he kudos to them, and which is nice because a lot of times, even back home where I'm from Costa Rica as well as Warren, you hear people saying and comparing teams and players, and not only that, one thing that they compare a lot. Maybe you don't know this, and our audience either. They compare the way teams work, like the preparation with what our teams do there. He was very adamant and saying, "No, we still do a great job there, and that's why I show like this today."
Wow, impressive. And minus Warren Madrigal's performance tonight, Christian Espinoza, what did you think about his play tonight, Claudio? It just seems like, again, you're not getting all the wonderful glitz and glamour from scoring goals and getting assists, but his contribution off the ball and also just a few tactical moves just within the pace of play, it just seemed like his veteran awareness on the pitch was spot on tonight.
I mean, the best compliment I can give somebody like Christian Espinosa, not that he's waiting for my compliment anyways, or that he needs it, but the best one that I can give him tonight is he was Christian Espinosa anyways. Yeah. He was still Christian. He does what he does best. His positioning in the game, like he did against Ottawa there when he came in. I mean, he's always involved in plays. He's moving around. He takes a lot of marks with him, and that opens up a lot of the play that Nahar did tonight because of him. I mean, all those things that he did there on the right side sometimes it's difficult to see in the TV shot.
The screen, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they zoom in on the player and not the entire
the ball.
field.
Yeah. But we get to see that here, and I analyze that. That's how I figured that he did got a good game. Not the highlights of the game, but he will sooner or later anyways. I mean, it's just that. And then we go back to Letzi. Man, that run that he made in the first half, was that walk to box with the ball?
Almost. I mean, he went 3/4 of the way down the field. And again, that goes to his time when he played in the Norwegian Premier League. I mean, they played a 3 at the back, and he played as the left center back in the I guess 3-5-2 or whatever formation it was, the 3 at the back. He always took that left flank as his priority to go down the pitch and say, hey, we're going to create offensive attack. And again, that fits the way BJ Callahan wants to play. He wants to play aggressive, wants to play fast. He wants to score goals. And we saw it tonight that this team can score goals at will. I don't want to compare them to like a hockey team like Team Canada right now in the Winter Olympics, where you just put out the best power play unit and they can score a goal if you need them to. Nashville's kind of doing stuff like that right now. You just put a mirage of goals on the scoreboard
I mean,
tonight.
not every game was going to be like this. We know
No.
that. There's a long season, and there's plenty of games to play, plenty of soccer to be played. But I mean, it's nice to confirm stuff like what Lovitz, Dan Lovitz was saying in press conference yesterday about um, Uletzi has adapted to the game, the kind of player he is, his physicality, his knowledge of the game, and all what he does, and he showed tonight.
Yeah.
It showed tonight. It was nice to see Lovitz how well he understands each other with him on this side of the field, and it was not always that particular feeling that we've been getting on this team. Like I told the first time we came on board alive,
Right.
that I mean Jason Palacios and Maxwell Buletzi are gonna make history
Yeah.
in this league for sure. They're really good. They're really good, and a lot of the strikers and things are gonna have a big problem with it. Even though he couldn't reach to that ball in the goal from Campana.
Yeah.
As well. I mean, we're not gonna say that there's gonna be a perfect game ever. No,
No.
it's gonna be mistakes or situations that happen to defenders. But in most cases, looking at the game that he played tonight, well, let's see, I'm talking about, he's gonna be awesome for this team.
Yeah, and again, that 1-2 punch at center back, Palacios and Maxwell Willedzi, to me, again, talking Calcio, the podcast you can hear on the Game National Sports Network, and also the first
Nashville Total
whistle reaction at Nashville Total Sports as well. It reminds me, and I'm putting the Italian twist on this, when Juventus had Leonardo Bonucci and Giorgio Chiellini and also Andrea Barzagli, they had a three at the back. But when they played a four at the back, it was Bonucci and Chiellini. Bonucci always had the tendency to go up in the field and take the ball at his own initiative to create a higher line.
Well, let's see today.
And Moletzi does stuff like that. And
Yes.
Palacios is the more veteran-esque
Stay
defender.
back.
Says, hey, I can stay back. I can play defense. I can close down, small spaces. I can do all that. That's what that reminded me of tonight. And it just made me happy a little bit because, hey, Nashville, they got a good soccer team because of that. And again, when you build out of the back, when you can have a consistent, baseline of a defense, this team, and again, it was something tonight as well that kind of caught my ear as well. I asked Sam Surge about Wubin's Pacious, about just the depth in general, like what has he meant to him, and along with just learning and whatnot. He goes, it's good to have depth with these type of games because that's what these young guys are doing. They're learning to play proper soccer under BJ Callahan and developing good traits, and they're becoming depth pieces for this team.
I tell you what, Nick, if I'm a central back with any team facing Nashville this season, looking at what we saw tonight,
Right.
If I had to fight for as many minutes I have to fight trying to control Sam Surish, and then all of a sudden they bring a guy like Rubens Pacious, my goodness, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare. I'm already worn out. I'm not sure what to do, and then all of a sudden you send me this guy, strong, aggressive, fast. I mean, it's just difficult. It's going to be difficult for most teams. And Rubens, as many minutes he's going to be getting, he's going to get only better. That's scary. Isn't it?
Let's also remember this too. Last season, Nashville, and I'm getting the midfield at this point.
Yeah.
Last year, when Nashville needed midfielders, they had Gaston Brugman, Brian Acosta. To me, they didn't, I guess, signify that depth piece for them. They developed Matthew Corcoran last season. He's come in as a young veteran, kind of like what I described Madrigal as today, a young veteran. When he came in the game tonight, Matthew Corcoran, that is, they didn't lose a beat.
No.
When they took Gasback off, they didn't lose a beat. Taxet was still back and forth.
Not at all.
You still got a little bit out of Matt Corcoran, still developing play, building up for the offensive attack. And then they subbed off Taxet and put in Brian Acosta. Then you became more of a defensive-minded team in the midfield, which is understandable because you have a 4-1 lead at that point. But again, that just goes to show you this team can do some special things this season.
It's hard to believe that at this point, when you're talking about the tactical maneuvers that a coach like BJ does, it's very interesting, at least in my mind, how creative he gets, even after we think he's done everything already.
Yeah.
And tonight I see a couple of things that really caught my mind besides all this craziness about the goal scoring, warring, and what happened with the goals. I mean, I saw two things that really caught my attention, and maybe that might have taken by surprise this New England team or any other team. I mean, all of a sudden you will see somebody like Patrick Jadbeck converted almost into a third fullback
Yeah.
for a long part of the game.
Because Palacios goes up in the field. Yeah.
And then at the same time, all of a sudden you see Eddie Taxit. I mean, Eddie Taxit being a third striker inside the area. That's just, I mean, that's
But again, it goes back
Wow.
to what we spoke on in the pre-match preview for all this. The one word I kept saying, versatility.
Yeah.
This is a team that has a lot of versatility. You can do a lot of things. So again, the Norwegian nuisance is doing a lot in the midfield, along with Patrick Gasbeck.
I mean, I still have to ask him the question. How's the feeling about or what was the feeling about when previous to the game or even after the game, the coach told him that you look good inside the area?
Yeah.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun to get this answer, wouldn't it?
It really would. And another thing about tonight's match, Ben Wright asked a phenomenal question when it comes to switching the field, because that was something I was sitting next to him in the press box, but that was something that he kind of mentioned up there. I was like, interesting, because there was times where they would pass it off to Espinoza, and then they would make an immediate switch, put a diagonal ping towards Madrigal, and it was like the players were already anticipating that. So it seemed like that they were, I guess, had been practicing stuff like that. But again, great question by Ben, and BJ had an excellent answer for that. You'll watch that in the post-match.
What that was what, the first or the second goal?
That was
the big cross from
I think it was the second goal.
from Espinosa.
Yeah.
And then Warren taps it on his chest.
And then put up to Eddie, and then back into Sam.
Man,
Yeah.
that's a wonderful.
It's boom, 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 boom.
That showed everything this team is all about. Not only about finishing the play, obviously by Sam, but also the building up, the transition from way back in the defense all the way to pretty much in the goal line. That's where the goals was scored.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm going to toot my own horn real quick. In the pre-match, I did say a score of 3-0. We both said that. Goal predictions, I had Sam Sturridge to have a brace.
Yes.
He has a brace tonight. And I think the third goal I said was either Hani or who was it? Madrigal? Did I say Madrigal?
No.
I have to go back to the tape and
I was the one that said Madrigal.
You said Madrigal, excuse me. Yeah. The third goal, I think I might have said Hani. I don't know.
Maybe.
I have to go back and look at the tape. But
the tape, yeah.
hey, that's a pretty good prediction start. Not too shabby, right?
We started good. We started out well, I will say.
Yeah.
And we better finish now because I'm getting.
My hands are red. This is not good. Not good at all. But if you want to catch more on the First Whistle reaction, Nashville Total Sports right here on all of his streaming platforms. And if you want to hear the audio version of this and or a new episode of the Talking Calcio podcast with Claudio Villalobos and myself, you can catch that on the Game National Sports Network. It also plays on the weekends as well on live radio from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. You can catch that there. And, go to the Game National Sports Network and listen to the new episode of Talking Calcio podcast. Should be coming out this week. And can't wait to give you guys more coverage this season for Nashville SC.
Of course, I'm gonna use a word from your family homeland.
Sure.
Arrivederci.
There you go. Arrivederci. Ci vediamo dopo.